There we go. There's the mic. What's up? It's January 25th, 2024. So today we're going to do a video. What's the topic today? What is the topic anyway? What's the topic? Oh, so one of the things that I haven't done as of yet is customizing studies and strategies so that they actually are customized for any specific strategy. Let me show you this. So if you followed on one of the previous videos where I was looking for data, where I was scrubbing the chart looking for data, I wanted to find out what data was most representative of a particular place in the market, a particular location of market structure. So primarily we're looking at like the candle before a bullish run. And so we use one of our scripts to print to a file. And once we print it to that file, then we're just able to copy and paste right onto Excel. And then from Excel, we move that into a chart. While we have the chart, we can sort and filter, and we came up with some values that seem to be pretty useful. And after looking at the chart a few times back and forth, I noticed it seemed like finding the range, this is the standard deviation, finding the standard deviation of the range and finding the standard deviation of the volume seemed to give us the best results. And so I take the standard deviation of the range and or the volume, and I would look for, I think, like 20% on either side of this value. And then when I did that, I came up with some pretty useful data. It wasn't on this one, it was on another one. Let me see. I think this was one of them, but it looked better for the prior day, for 24th maybe. It had that one little move. Let's see, RVSN. This is one that that NASCAR kind of recommended as one of the penny stocks. So I was curious just to see what it would show. And obviously, you know, these aren't necessarily the best entries, but you know, decent one there. Maybe a little bit of move to the top there if you're scalping, which is my strategy, right? So nice move from here up. This one was not a great entry at all. This one was a good entry. This one was, I mean, from the bottom to the top, right? But not so great there, and then not so great here. So, but at any rate, what I'm mainly trying to kind of show is we want to use the data that the chart has to kind of backward solve our problem. I feel like a lot of the times what I'll do is I'll look at the chart and I'm trying to figure out what's going on with the chart and then project what's happening or what will happen. Whereas if you just take the data that's on the chart and then just work backwards from that, say, okay, instead of looking at all these bars and trying to figure out where the bottom is, find out where the larger move is, and then ask the chart to find all those larger moves and then identify those, and then, you know, tell you what's going on there just prior to that. So let's see. Like I said, the data that I had here, oh, this is the EVAX data. All right, so let me go in here and show you essentially what it says. And then we'll try customizing it for each specific ticker. It's something I haven't done before, so this is another new one for me. I'm constantly doing new stuff. This will be another new one for me. All right, so this is the percent between percent formula that I was talking about, and then this is one that I created, which after, and I think I've used this function a few times, but after creating the function and then applying it to the chart and looking, I realized that I had this formula wrong, and so I had to modify it. So now it's correct. So, you know, it may change the result on some of my other scripts, but at any rate, it just pretty much says that we're going to find the price, and then we're looking for the comparison value, which we're going to take the percent of on either side. So for the high limit, we're going to take the comparison value, multiply it by the percent, and then divide that by 100, just so that we can, and then we're going to add that back to the comparison value, just so that we can get that percentage move above the comparison value. And then for the bottom side, we're going to take that comparison value, and then we're going to subtract that percentage move, right? So, and you know that if you want to do a find the value from a percent, you got to take that percent and divide it by 100, and then multiply that by whatever value. Okay. All right. So that's, simple math stuff. Not simple math, maybe it's algebra. But at any rate, so we're going to go back to the pre-bull, and then so if I can show you how we're looking to compare, this is, I don't know which one is set up for currently. The values that I have here, you see I have turned off condition 2, 4, and 5. So 2, 4, and 5 is off. So right now, the only thing I have on is ticks, which is volume and range. All right, so ticks is showing 82,526. The volume here, that's the ticks, 82,526. So this is EVAX. So this is for the EVAX one. So on the screen, even though, so this data right now, 82,526, and this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. This is the problem, right? So if you have the script that works decently, but it has to have that certain value in for that certain ticker, then if you have RVSN up instead of EVAX, you're going to get differing, different results. So let's put EVAX in, and hopefully it looks better. But yeah, so when we put EVAX in, this is what EVAX came back for. But again, the best criteria that I was able to put in only gave me one result for yesterday, for January 24th. But that was a great move up, right? So did it do anything for today? No, it didn't do anything for today. It looks like very low liquidity today. So EVAX is one of the ones that moved up fairly quickly, and looks like it's done a lot of retracing thereafter. So yeah, so EVAX is not doing a lot right now, but this is what we want to do. So we want to use a switch in case, and then change these numbers based on the ticker. So we have to do a few things. I think it's pretty simple, but here we go. All right, so we're going to say, first of all, we're going to make this a variable. We're going to say we'll put T ticks, so ticker ticks. Okay, and then for this one, we're going to call it and that was 0.19. We're going to call it ticker range, T range. Okay, so obviously we need to declare those. They are variables, they are integers, T range and T ticks. All right, so now we're going to come back down here, and we need to make a switch. So you can do this several ways. You could just simply say if symbol equals, and I don't know if I have to put it in parentheses or just write it out. So we're going to try it this way. If symbol equals EVAX, then T range equals 0.19. If symbol equals, and this might be the easiest way. I don't know. We'll have to see. I don't know if I can even do it the other way with strings using the case switch or the switch case. If symbol equals RVSN, then RVSN was, we needed, for the T range, we needed 0.114. Okay. I think I can only do one at a time. 126,499. 126,499 for the volume. 26,499. Okay, and so that is for the T ticks. Copy this. Let's get the volume up here for evacs is 8256. That's T ticks. Okay, so I think the only, and so if we have a ticker up here that we have not called on, then essentially I think this might be like equals 0. This would be null. This will be equals 0, and so then we'll get some real crazy results. So let's see what it looks like. Let's try it and see if we need to do anything else with well, let's do this. You know, instead of guessing, let's see. Equivalent return represents the symbol name. Returns a string, so I probably have to do it as a string. If it returns a string, I have to do this as a string. And strings have to be in quotations. Okay. All right, so I just verified that. Okay, and so I lost everything, so that obviously didn't work the way that we wanted it to. If symbol equals evacs, which yeah, it did, then T range is going to be 0.19. All right, if symbol equals evacs, then T ticks equals 8250, 82,526. Boom, put that in there. Still didn't do it. Again, like I said, this is my first time doing this, but I know what I'm looking for. So now we just have to figure out how to make it work. Symbol. Instead of symbol, we're going to do get symbol. Symbol name. And still not it, huh? Does it need to be capitalized? All right, let's do this. Let's go to print, get symbol name, and then see what we get. Open up print log, evacs, right? So it knows what evacs is. It knows that it's the ticker. So let me try capital. Okay, so it has to be capitalized. Didn't know. All right, I need to make myself a note of that. Symbols need to be capitalized. All right, it must be capitalized. Okay, so we're going to go back over here, and then we're going to try Instead of doing get symbol name, we're just going to do symbol and see if it still works. Yeah, still works. So we can just use symbol. We'll be fine. Right. All right. So now if we go to RVSN, it should automatically put the, well, wait a minute. We didn't uppercase it. Okay. Zoo. There it goes. Do I feel like there was a delay in that? RVSN. Well, no, RVSN moved pretty good today. Which one was it? Was it EVAX that looked like it fell off? Yeah, EVAX fell off today. RVSN. Okay, good deal. All right, so that is actually, like I said, pretty decent there. So on RVSN, using this same kind of information, you see we got the low, boom, we got the low, boom. This one wasn't as great, but we got, you know, that one's okay because it held support. So moved up, that one, you know, those two maybe. This one, huge move up. So yeah, and again, well, and then this one was no good, but it's also at, you know, it's also at the end of the trading day, and you got low liquidity. So, you know, what do you expect? All right. And again, this is just scrubbing the chart to find all of the large moving bull candles and then just asking the chart, what was the candle like before that large bull? And then I also went and I added one more thing to the mix. I think that was today though. So you see here, I've got it's just the number. I got the script, the ticker, the interval that we're using it for, the date, time, open, high, low, close, you know, whether or not we're looking at the candle, the setup candle before the large bullish candle. Was that a bullish candle, which is a 1, or was it a bearish candle, which was a 2? Then we have the bull range, which is the range of that large bullish candle, the relationship to the 200 period moving average. That doesn't seem to have as much of an impact, but I think I have filtered for this before though. And then the range of that setup candle, the range of the 7 candles prior to the setup candle, what the VWAP is, the volume, and then the 6 period volume. And then I went further and I added one more. So I have all these, and then I think this morning I added one more, which is the linear regression of the 3 candles prior to the setup candle. And so I got one more data point there. Again, this also is a standard deviation. So this is standard deviation. So I think we got some good information to continue to plug away at finding the best entries. All right. Now, we're going to try with case switch, and then we're going to look and see what this might look like with like NQ and ES, because that's really what I'm interested in these days. All right, so if we did the case switch, it would have to go something like switch what? You're going to switch the T range. I wonder, can I just put symbol here? I mean, it's not something that we are assigning, but it will be something that ends up being input right there. So we're going to put symbol, switch symbol, case, and I'm going to see if we can switch a string. The switch statement can include any number of case instances, but no two case instances were the same. Yep, one statement associated with the matching case or evaluate control is passing in the statements with. All right, then it goes to a break. Boom. Highest high, that's lowest. That is all numeric. Those are integers. You see here, they're doing all values or integers. The switch has to be an expression. Well, let's just see if it'll work. If it'll work, it'll work. If it don't, then it won't. Okay, so switch. So first we'll just say case what? Case 1. We'll just say case 1, case 2. So essentially, if the variable or whatever you put here is 1, then it will execute this. If it's 2 equal to 2, then execute this. So if it's 1, then, or essentially if it's evax, case 1 evax equals case 1 evax equals no, I think we have to do case 1 colon value 3 equals okay. T range equals 0.19. Okay, case 2 case not 2 case RVSN colon T range equals 0.114. And okay, so we got the switch, what we're switching, we got the case, and then we have end. Do we need to begin there? Yeah, I think so. No errors. And it's got some dots on here. Huh. Well, it still worked, but did it work because we already have it assigned up here? So let's mute this out, comment this out. Okay, and now with me re-verifying it, now it doesn't show up. So yeah, I'm thinking very sadly that it won't work like that. So, I guess we're just gonna have to do one at a time, which, I mean, you know, do it one way or the other. I think that's fine. I think that's fine, because a lot of times probably what you're going to end up putting in switch anyway is going to be something that changes something within the chart. It changes, like you say, like the average true range changes and it drops down lower. And so you want that lower value to go in here and affect something else differently here. But because when you get to a new chart, even though that change when you got to the chart, we can account for that, but then we can't account for some other nuance changing unless we use like K-switch. But then that will typically be something numeric. That will not be a string input. So yeah, okay. All right, so we can't use K-switch for that, but we can use K-switch for other things. All right, so get symbol name evax, then T range. So essentially what we would do is just go through a whole thingy, and we would say something like, if symbol equals RSVN, then begin. And we want to put them both in there. Begin T range is that, and T ticks is this, and then end. That's actually that's not too hard. That's not too much work. And it'll just be a one-liner. And then this will be the same. And then we could just have a line of them, you know, going on. Again, T range. We've already asked for it to look for the symbol, so we don't need to ask for it again. End. Verify that. Now we should be good. Okay, but now what happens if we go to another chart? It's not one of those. NQ. Didn't give us any errors, but what did it give it? Is it putting that value in at all? And this chart, the values on it are so far away from the values of our RVSN or EVAX that, you know, it probably never show up. We probably never know. So one thing we can do is we can ask, what are the values of T range? And if it says like no or nothing or null, then we'll know that it's not doing anything with this script. But if it does give us something, then we need to be sure that we are assigning. Yeah, see, it's giving us zeros. It's just giving us zeros. So it's pretty much just saying that, which I think is fair. I think that, and I think that's safe. So initially the T range and T ticks are declared as 0, and because none of these work, none of these are true, the symbol isn't EVAX or the symbol isn't RVSN, then it stays at 0, right? T range and T ticks just stay at 0. And so then essentially you have a inept study, which is fine. You'd rather have an inept study, one that just doesn't show up, than one that shows up and gives you bad data. So very cool. I like this. I like this. All right, so then I can just kind of, like I said, copy this, and then whatever our next script is, put that data. So let's see, did I find data for NQ? NQ 2 year. I don't know if I did the standard deviation for this one or not. Nope, I didn't. So let's drag this down. Okay, and we're gonna do standard deviation. Out. And it's gonna be of this group. Did it include that last? Oh yeah, it did. All right, we didn't need that much, guy. Okay, which one was that? We're in the K-row? K-row? K-row syrup? K-row. All right, try it again. Need to get in there and then hit it. Then we go there. Then we hit enter. And then we drag this across. So we're going to try it like we did with the other one and see if range and volume work without needing much else. So the range there, the standard deviation of the range is 12.49. However, I think we wanted to look at the highest bulls. So the average bulls is 41.87. And so then what I did on the other ones at least was I said, okay, well, I want to find all the ones that are greater than that average. So we're only going to take the ones that have a that are greater than the average, and then we're going to use these numbers. However, did it do that for the other one? Because it looks like this is still only referencing this entire data set on this entire column. It's not just referencing what's been filtered out, what's been filtered for. What did it do here? Yeah, it looks like it did the whole thing. Well, we'll try it like that and see. Otherwise, I'm thinking about changing it. All right, so we've got the range 12.49, and we have the volume, which is 3812. So if it's at NQ, and remember it has to be capitalized, then begin T range is 12.45, and the ticks is 3812. Now, one of the things I did have to do was kind of modify the percent a little bit, so we'll have to see what that is. That might be something also that we account for. So we'll say that if it's one of these and it has to be changed to a specific number, then we'll drop it in here. And if it's not that, then it'll be assigned a base or declared at 20 or whatever it is. Okay, so 3812. Okay, so it's at NQ, and it did not pull any. It pulled one, and that is not a bad entry, right? Like on a scout move, boom, from here to there. Yeah, I mean, for me, that's nice. And I mean, even just looking at this location, it moved up considerably. That's nice. That's nice. All right. Did it pull any other ones? Man, it pulled that one too? That's nice. That one's nice. Okay, and those are not as nice. Well, we got about half and half. So, like I said, this one on the scout, maybe. This one, no way. This one, I mean, right at the bottom. How? That's great. And then this one, though, not so much. I'm just trying to look and see why this one failed and this one worked. And I think we came through the trend line there. This one was more so boom, boom. Didn't really touch that one, but this one more so held a support. So, keeping that in mind, right? So keeping those other technical analysis components in mind. And I think because all of them will be a little bit different depending on the chart, I could obviously make a script that would plot these this trend line. However, I don't think it's going to be the same on every one. You know, the reasons why it will or won't work. Because I could code out for this, like if there's right, so if it says that there's a swing high with 1, 2, 3, swing high with 3 bars, but that swing high bar has a very high top wick, you know, that's price action for rejection, right? So, you know, not to take that as an entry. We could do that. Yeah, not so much. I mean, it is steadily moving up though, but yeah. Like that one, this one, not so much. But there was that one more piece, like I said, that I pulled recently, which I'm curious of what that offers to the script of I didn't pull it on NQ. All right, let's pull this on NQ. Well, we're on the pre-bull chart. The pre-bull chart should have the bullish environment V2, which prints to that. It prints to that file the information that we're looking for. So hang on, let me go retrieve it. All right, there it is. There it is right there. There's the pre-bull bar. And then that pulls up this data here. This is from January the 11th, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, through the 25th. All right, and you see on this one, we are on the 1 minute time frame still, and it has our information over here for the linear regression, that final side. So I'm just going to Control A, copy it, then come back over here, NQ. We're just going to paste this to our import wizard with comma as the delimiter. Finish. 1, 2, 3. Finish that out. Control A. I know it's on the hotkey, so I keep losing my screen when I do that. Control A and, well, insert table. Doesn't have headers. Okay, and then we're going to go back up to home. Copy this. Put it in our new sheet. Paste. There's one other thing I was missing here that I added later. Open time, date, interval. Here. Got the ticker. And then here we have the linear regression of 3 bars. Okay. All right, now I think we were looking at the bull range. We're going over the average. So let's first do this. Delete these rows. Then we're going to go to view. We're going to freeze the top pane. Oh, here's the top row. Okay, and then we're going to go to the end. Then from here, do standard deviation of what? Of this range. Drag that over. Oh, we wanted to do the average first. You want to let me drag it? Yeah. Average. Home. Just drag that across. Auto sum average. But once you do all this, you really don't have to do it that often, but you do need the data. All right, so 7.109 is the average there. We're gonna go greater than 7.19. All right. And so now, yeah, the standard deviation is 5.19 for the full range, but this is the one that we're interested in, that one and this one. So this is of NQ, and then we were going to try for that last one as well, the linear regression, which is that we're going to add that to the mix and see if it's helpful. But let's see. How close that data was to the data we already had, because the data, I feel like I went back like 200 days or a year or something. All right, so this one is saying that we need our range to be 4.08 for NQ. And this is saying 12.45. Big difference, right? All right, 4.08, 12.45. Saying the ticks need to be a lot larger, 736. Now, the data that I was using it from initially was from 2 years worth of NQ information. It was going 2 years back. So I think what I'm going to end up doing, my idea is that I'm going to, essentially solve for the month, right? So I'm going to have this data. I'm gonna have this data down here available for either every quarter or every month. And then I will solve for X for, quarterly or monthly. And that way, when we get into a new month or a new quarter, I'll adjust my numbers based on, what's happening. Okay. And I mean, as far as filter, it's easy. Well, because we don't have that set as a date, and I have to figure this out. Yeah, so that'll be the thing that I work on tomorrow, because TradeStation has its own date format. You see, it's 1230905. So the 123 is 123 years from the year 1900. That's how they do their format. And then the 09 is the month of September, and then the 05 is the 5th day. So I'll need to convert this TradeStation date into like a standard date, unless Excel is smart enough. I don't think it's smart enough. Maybe, or I'm not smart enough to work it, because one thing that you can do is go in here and put December, August 31st, 2022, then August 31st, 2022, and then August 01, 2001. Yeah, you see, when you start putting this data in and it's in a column just beside the column that you're getting the information from, it's supposed to be able to look at this information, compare that to this, and say, oh, you're using the 122 part as your year and you're using the 09 as your date, and it just will decide to go ahead and move that all the way down, which, you know what? It did do that. This is right. August the 9th on there. No. That should be September now because it went to the 9th month. Yeah. Oh, shoot. I did it wrong. September 01, 2022. And this is September 01, 2022, September 02, 2022, September 02, 2022. Yeah, it hasn't figured out the pattern. It's supposed to be like pattern recognition. It hasn't figured out the pattern. So, and if it does, then it will just fill out all the rest of it. But I'm just gonna have to do a little bit of extra work and get that uploaded to my script so that it puts the date in a regular date format, and that shouldn't be too hard to do. But I'll look at that here in a little bit. Meanwhile, let's change this data and see, because this data for this data that I just pulled for NQ should be more representative of recent days, because it's not 2 years out. It's, recent. How recent? 10 days. 10 days recent. All right, so let's see how it looks. Okay, so if somebody's in queue, then begin 12.45. We need those different days. We're gonna try that. We're gonna try 4.08, and then we're gonna try volume of 736.41. Bam. See what it does. Okay. Give us this one. That one is no bueno. But let's see what the rest of them look like. Oh, it's giving us a lot of tops. Yeah, this is not very good. Yeah. I'm not as impressed by this one as I was impressed by the other one. I mean, those are okay, but there's just as many that are not good as it is good. So let's add that last piece of the puzzle to the equation, which was the linear regression of the slope, which was this guy, and we'll uncomment it out, and then we'll say that it's got to be 2.05. And we might have to adjust for the percentage range too. So let's first see at 2.05, if we add linear regression to the mix, do we filter out some of those bad ones? And so far, we filtered out a lot. We kept that one, which is an awesome one. We kept that one, which is not so great. I mean, now, two things with this. One thing is it's right at 930, so typically I wouldn't be looking at that to take an entry anyway, because it's right at the standard market open, which it just dived down, but then it just moved back up. And once it moved up, it had a huge run. So that could be a valid one. It just happened at the wrong time of the day, and it just pretty much was a little bit of a trap that caught some people slipping, and then it moved on. So that one could probably be valid, but it'd be nice if it was clean. It'd be nice if it was easy. Wouldn't it be nice if it was easy? Then you have that one, which not loving that one because it moved up a little bit, but nice retracement before moving up a good deal. So, and then you could go here for your risk and then here for your reward. So 0.5, 0.15 to 0.10, you know, 1 to 1.5. 1 to 1.5. I like to see these strategies do a little bit better than that. That one is no good. That one over there is not that great. All right, so let's take off the linear regression because, like I said, I added that one and the other scripts didn't need it. So maybe this one doesn't need it. I just need to get rid of or tighten up. We're going to tighten up this percentage range, and we're gonna call it range. We're gonna call it margin. It already has one. Range margin. And then that can be an input so we can change that on the fly. All right, put that as an input. We're gonna set it off as being 20 initially. That, and then we can come here. And then so we can do, oh, we had this on here twice. Let's remove that. Why is that off? Why was it off? This is this. Okay, wait a minute. We turned off the linear regression, right? Yeah. Okay. All right, so we have a lot of potential entries there, but I think the linear regression, we were getting a lot of random ones and good entries, bad entries. But when we turned on the linear regression, it shut down a lot. I mean, those aren't terrible. Those aren't terrible right there. Those look pretty good right there too. And then we got that one. What happened? Because we've got a lot of good ones here now. I think when we turned off the linear regression had suppressed a bunch of that. No? What happened? What happened? Because I only saw this one before. I didn't see these climbing up here. It's the pre-bull. Oh, no. This is another script? No, it's not. This is the only script I've got on here. Okay, the RVSN 1 minute pre-bull. RVSN. And we are working on the RVSN pre-bull. And this is the NQ. This is the NQ pre-bull. The one that I had set aside the I pulled the data from NQ for NQ, and that's why it's called NQ pre-bull. And so NQ pre-bull is doing all right. So if we turn on NQ pre-bull, then we get these. Yep, not bad, not bad, not bad, not bad at all. Yeah, I think these are the ones, you know, I posted some in the Discord, some of these entries that the script found. And yeah, this was for the NQ pre-bool. So, but we're going to turn that off because NQ pre-bool seems to be working pretty well. And I do have that, I believe, on my NQ chart. Which one is this? Okay, this is the 15 cross for NQ. And that one seemed to work pretty well. Yeah, that one's working really well. I need to add the NQ pre-bool into here, but I need to change the colors and whatnot, so. All right, so added the NQ pre-bool along with the one that was already up there. All right, very good. All right, I like the 1 minute. I like the 1 minute entry signals. I like them a lot. All right, and then for the 5 minute, this is something else. Yeah, not as much, but okay. It's hitting some of those lows though. I mean, it is. Okay. So let's go back to the pre-bool. This is NQ. Need to turn on the RVSN pre-bool. This is the one that should have only got that one potential entry, or we got it. Yeah, we got it right there. Got one right there. Got those. I mean, this doesn't do bad. It doesn't do bad. Looks like these are set up for longer moves. So definitely it looks like they work for longer moves, for a longer push. Which I think most people look for anyway. Longer push. Okay. Yeah. All right, what else? What else here? Because I think we added the, yep, so we have the linear regression slope on there, and we need to make that range margin as well, and then we'll go back and add that up here so that we can so if it's NQ, we just add that into here. So it'll be range, we can't change range margin there because we're changing, no, we can't change range margin. We can change, because that's an input, we can change the linear regression slope. We can change this number. So that would be like, we're calling it T-lin, call it that. Okay, and then we'll put in T-lin would equal 2.05. All right, put a colon, and then declare T-lin. All right. That's something I did or something you did, computer? All right, there we go. All right, we're good. Okay, so all right. The only other thing I think I want to do tonight, because like I said, now that we got all this situated, now I can add, as I get these scripts nicer, then I can add these to the scripts, and then I won't have to continue going back in. Because I promise you, I'm pretty much just going to, like I said, going to focus on NQ and ES, right? So I only will need to do that for, 1 or 2 or 3 lines. NQ, ES, YM, something in futures. So I only need to do that a few times. All right, but for there, it looks promising. So the only other thing I probably would need to do as well is if there is by changing the time frame. So I'd have to take it a step further, and I would put all this in a begin end statement. I would duplicate it. Oh, not triplets. Duplicate it, and then I'd say if the bar interval equals 1, so that's the 1 minute time frame, then do this down here. So I'm gonna say that for the 5 minute time frame. And up here we'll say if bar interval equals 1, so it's a 1 minute time frame, then we're gonna do that first one. All right, so we're all on 1 minute time frame, so we're going to do this one up here. So just to show how it works or that it works, we'll just verify this and then come back here and we see what we got is staying the same on the 1 minute time frame. But so if the bar interval changes, if we change this to the 5 minute time frame, then we want this to say something different. So for ticks, for NQ, we'll just make it, I don't know, we'll make it 40, and we'll make this, we'll just increase everything by 100 or 10. Okay, so now we're going to verify it, and so now we'll go to the 5 minute time frame, and yeah, we should get probably nothing. I'm curious of what the value should be on the 5 minute time frame though. And I mean, I could figure it out by scrubbing it for the 5 minute time frame. Now, on here, do we have the bullish environment? Yes, we do. So all we have to do is go back to our back here, because the bullish environment, it scrubs it for whatever you put on the chart, whatever ticker, whatever time frame you put on the chart, it scrubs it. Boom, I've got the data. Copy it. Lost you over here. Copy it, then go back to Excel. And again, whoever told you that having one computer screen was enough, they lied. You need at least 3. You need at least 3. All right, so we're going to paste this here, and then we're going to go to Import Wizard, limited, comma on that, finish. And NQ, gonna go up, grab the headings, copy, back to sheet 2, paste, 1, 2, 3, copy that and do that, all, insert table, as headers, okay, and then we're going to always freeze that top row, and from there we're going to look at the bullish range. We're going to see what the average is, so we need to find the average. Oh buddy, find the average. So let's get the averages here. Easy to do. Home, auto sum, but we want the average. So the average here of the bulls that we just looked for is 16.42. So I'm actually going to look for all of them that are above that number, just so that we get a better, more bulls than small bulls. All right. And then here, we're also going to do the standard deviation. And it's going to be of those guys. Drag that across so we get that value for all these. And then again, we're interested in the range, the volume, and the linear regression. Boom. So now we have that data for the 5 minute time frame. And we can come back over here. We're done with that. We can come back over here. And so for the 5-minute time frame, we're going to put in those numbers and see what we get. So those numbers would be 8.65. For NQ, we are range 8.65. For ticks, which is the volume, we are 3371. And then for the linear regression, if we were to use that, is 4.43. Verify it, and then we're going to open chart back up and see what it came up with. Okay, so we are getting some results. Again, this is the 5-minute time frame instead of the 1-minute time frame. So we got one there on the 5-minute. And of course, on the 5-minute time frame, you know, you should have a bit of a higher risk to reward, right? Or a higher risk margin amount. Okay, so you know, and I don't know, I don't really trade that higher time frame though. So this here, I wouldn't be excited about that, especially because I'm typically looking at the lower time frame. But if you look in the grand scheme of things, if you look out, then maybe this is a nice low place to get into, or a lower place to get into. But I wouldn't be as excited about that. Catch that on the way up, sure. That I'm not excited about that. Yeah, so 5-minute time frame, I don't know. And it only went back, we only got the data from 15 days. So, and that might just not be enough of a sample size. Did we get one in there? Yeah, okay, we got one in there. That might not just be enough of a sample size. But again, the cool thing about what I did tonight was the fact that when I'm on the 5-minute time frame, it's using these values. And then when I switch to the 1-minute time frame with NQ, is using these values. Now, if I had ES on here, I'd just make another line and it, you know, have, if it was ES, it would, in the 1-minute time frame, it will put these values into it automatically. And if it was an NQ or ES on the 5-minute time frame, it'll put these values down here. So that is the cool part, because you can just add it to your charts and not really worry about reassigning those numbers every time. Because I tell you, I used to make these scripts and I'd have a ton of scripts and they would all have different data, and I might go, you see, I have all these different scripts for all these different dates, all these different scripts. So now I can just have one script and I can just assign different value, one good script though, and assign these different values within the script. And then I'll just, you know, I'll just go from chart to chart instead of having a Microsoft Excel chart with 100 different tickers and 100 different values. And now every time I want to look at a different chart, I have to go in and manually put in those values. No more of that. No more of that. No more of that. But I wish we had better scores here for NQ. So if we didn't do the standard deviation, if we just put in, I tell you what, I'm curious for the margin, if we were to put in a lower margin, because right now it's like 20%. The margin is, range margin is 20%. If we were to put in like 10%, what would that do? Okay, we lost a lot. We lost those few in there anyway. Yep. Lost everything. Yeah, we pretty much lost everything on there. So that's not helpful, at least on the 5-minute time. Well, this is a 1-minute time frame. See the 5-minute time frame. The 5-minute time frame was the one that we were having trouble with finding decent entries on it. Yeah, so it looks like at least NQ does not like the does not like 20 or 10 as the margin. So instead of going 20, let's try 15. Okay, So again, there's the 5-minute time frame, and not a thing pops up. Back to the 1-minute time frame, and not a thing pops up. All right, let me make sure that it looks like it's still. Did it get turned off? It's not off. Let's go to 20. 20 might have been the magic number. But I feel like something should have popped up. Well, it's there now. So 20 is like the magic number. And those are all okay. 1-minute time frame, and then back to the 5-minute time frame. Yep, 5-minute. Like I said, I don't think this is terrible for the 5-minute time frame, where you have a wider margin anyway. I don't think this is terrible for the 5-minute time frame, but I don't know. But what's that? 0.2 to 0.8 something, 1 to 4. I don't know. So, one last thing I'm gonna work on before I get off here, and then I'll have learned at least 2 things for the day. I've strengthened my abilities with switch case. I'll have today I worked with bar interval, and also worked with I didn't even show you guys this one today, but I worked with get bar type, and it talks about if you're getting in at the front of the bar or the end of the bar. Hey Munir, you made it. Man, I hate that you didn't get that strategy working. I don't know. But like I said, we can, maybe hop offline on the Discord or something like that and work on it one-on-one kind of a thing. But yeah, I mean, I looked at your script and I saw that you changed around. I mean, you just put not the parentheses, but you put the brackets and everything around one of the conditions. But other than that, I mean, it looked exactly the same. So I'm not sure why you didn't get the same results that I got. All right, so the last thing I wanted to see was if I can change the which one is it where I'm doing the pre-bull pull? The pre-bull pull. No, it's the bullish environment. Okay, so this is where I'm using to scrub the charts for all the data that I'm looking for. I need to figure out something different for the date. So I need for the date to appear like a normal date, 12/5/23, so that when I pull it over into Excel, I can do more with it. So let me just do a empty one, empty tutorial date, Eric. Okay, just going to get all this out of here, and we want to print date. I think we're going to have to do a let's see, we just call it date T, or it'll be a date time, and it'll just be date T, and then initialize that as null, and then we can use that to say date T dot. No, we have to assign it first, so it'll be like date T equals date time. date t equals current date. Our date time. Yeah, I'm gonna have to work with this a little more. Date. Let's go to date time class and see what it says. Oh, that's not a class. Well, that's your first problem right there. Oh, and then I probably need to initialize it using EL system too. That's gonna be the problem. All right. Yeah. So I had date time right, new time null. Yep. And then we go to datetime.now. That's fine. And then we can do now toString new time. Yeah. See, this is what I needed down here. So dt.year, dt.day, dt.month. Perfect. That's what I needed. Okay. So come back here, and then we're going to use using EL system. Using EL system dot, I don't even think I need drawing, but date t dot current date. I don't think it needs to be current date though. Date time dot now. Current time now. To be careful because one of these actually says it's the current time in real time, and one of them says it's the current time of that bar. Greater than the current computer clock time. Yeah, so that's the now. Oh, here we go. Current time gets the current time of day only. I need the date for sure though. Time of day gets time of day as a span of it gets current date only. Current date. But again, is that current date, or is that the current, or is that the date of the bar? All right, let's do gives us a day portion. Let's do today. All right, and then we're going to do date t dot. All right, so technically we won't even need that. We can just come down here and do date t dot year, and then put a space in that, and then do date t dot month, and then put a space in between that and do date t dot day. And then before we do anything, because I think there's other stuff still printing, once print, once clear print log. Come over here. I'm going to add that show me tutorial. Date. Open that up. 2024, that is the current year. First month, January, and the 25th. Yep, that's right. But did it get it right for these first bars? Because these first bars happened back on January the 4th. So if you scroll up, it's all showing January the 25th. So it's doing it for the current date. It's not doing it for the date and time then. So date time. Can we just do date time? Didn't like that. Doesn't like that. Date time. Can we do bar date time? That should be allowable. I like it. I think that worked. But yeah, that should work. Yeah, there we go. Okay, good. So now we got 2024, January the 4th. Okay, so when I redo my script for the bullish environment, I'll redo it with that instead of just this regular date. And then that way I'll have the date in this fashion so that when I come over to Microsoft Excel, I can then sort for just looking, because like I said, I went 2 years back. So then I can sort for only looking for stuff that happens in the first quarter or in the first 4 months, or only things that happen in the June. So now I've got more manageability. Okay. All right. So yeah, learned a couple things today. All right. I think that's it. So, well, Manir, let's see. I tell you what, let's hop over on the Discord and see if we can get it sorted out there. All right, I'll send you a link on Discord, and hopefully we can get you sorted out so you can kind of play with your script in live time. Because otherwise, once Friday is gone, now you gotta wait till Monday. Yep. All right. For everybody else, guys, I'm Eric. I'm out. Peace.